This is a list of teams that absolutely nobody expected to do anything this year. For example, last year's Rams. With a new coach, slightly inexperienced quarterback, and a running back straight out of his sophomore slump, they went 11-5 and even got the number 3 seed in the NFC. So, here are 5 teams that nobody expected to make noise this season, and who have a decent shot at the playoffs. Number 5, the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts quarterback Andrew Luck had been cursed by the football gods for a good part of the 2015 season and was out all of the 2017 season, in which the team went just 4-12 without him. Andrew Luck clearly provided a much-needed spark to this offense, not to mention that Marlon Mack has came into his own this season. He's now running behind one of the best offensive lines in football. Only last year, that Colts team was considered a train wreck. The Colts defense has made minor improvements from last year. They allowed 404 points in 2017. This year, they are on pace to allow 369 points, a 35-point difference. Although, it is mostly Andrew Luck that brought them back. He has thrown for 3,759 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 13 picks. At the end of the season, he will have about 4,626 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 16 picks. This will probably put him among the MVP candidates. He will be in elite company with Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees, and Phillip Rivers. Clearly, Andrew Luck has revitalized the Colts franchise this year and got them to the brink of the playoffs. Number 4, the Chicago Bears. The difference maker for the Bears came on September 1st when they traded for Khalil Mack. He has really hyped up that unforgiving defense, not to mention he's doing pretty good himself. 10 sacks, 1 pick, and a whopping 6 forced fumbles. Not to mention that Bears defense has only allowed 247 points, which is 3rd in the NFL. They can also force a lot of sacks and turnovers. This year, they have 25 interceptions for 317 yards and 5 touchdowns. They have 17 forced fumbles, which were returned for 60 yards and a touchdown. Finally, they have an amazing 40 sacks. Their defense has proved that they are one of the best defenses in the NFL. Mitch Trubisky has taken a big step up this year with a 92.1 rating, 2,579 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 12 picks, compared to 2017's 77.5 rating, 2,193 yards for 7 touchdowns and an even amount of picks. The moves Ryan Pace has made have clearly had an impact on Trubisky's performance in games. This year's top 2 receivers are Allen Robinson and Taylor Gabriel. Not to mention Tariq Cohen and Jordan Howard aren't half bad at running back. And the Bears will most likely make the playoffs at around probably like 11-5 or 12-4. Number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. After a crushing loss in the 2018 wildcard game at home, in which they blew an 18-point lead to the Tennessee Titans, Chiefs fans were probably like, yup, it was a fun ride while it lasted.
Breaking news at our NFL Network studios in Los Angeles. I'm Ari Wolf. Well, it's Super Bowl week. You expect big things to happen, and something big happened away from the Super Bowl. Chiefs quarterback Alex Smith has been traded to the Washington Redskins. That, according to our own Ian Rappaport. Ian Rappaport has been able to confirm it that Alex Smith is heading to the Redskins. The domino effect now on the quarterback market.
It was time to see what Patrick Mahomes could do. He had started Week 17 of the previous year against the Denver Broncos. He did, and pretty bad, throwing for 284 yards, 1 pick, and a 76.4 rating. But at that point, no one was concerned. I mean, it was a pointless game. Win or lose, the Chiefs were in the playoffs. Obviously, the Titans beat the Chiefs in the wildcard, only to go on to get blown out 35-14 at New England. When Week 1 came, most people didn't think they were going to make the playoffs. I thought they would, but certainly not as dominantly as I thought. They were projected wild card at best, but in Week 15, they have a big chance to take the number 1 seed. Patrick Mahomes has been steamrolling defenses left and right, and there's little reason to say he won't continue during the playoffs. Number 2, the Houston Texans. The Texans season went totally downhill in 2017 when Deshaun Watson tore his ACL in practice between Week 8 and Week 9. Not to mention J.J. Watt getting hurt early. They ended up going 4-12. In 2018, The Texans started to suck through week 3. They were 0-3, and their offense was complete trash. They were scoring just 19.6 points per game, with just 59 points scored overall. They proceeded to win 3 straight to get to 500 before week 7, but all of those wins came by narrow margins. No one thought the Texans were for real yet. That statement would be made on October 25th against the Dolphins, in which they destroyed them 42-23, with Deshaun Watson throwing for 239 yards, 5 touchdowns. Now with serious momentum, the Texans won games against the Broncos, Redskins, Titans, and Browns. Now on a 9-game win streak on their side, they looked for a perfect 13-0 record since week 4. That wasn't what happened though. The killing blow came against the team they had seized victory from to start their winning streak. They took a shocking 24-21 loss to the Indianapolis Colts. Now with games against bad to mediocre competition, the Texans look to go back and get a 12-4 record and beat the Patriots to the number 2 seed. Number 1, the Los Angeles Chargers. Phillip Rivers has always been a top-tier quarterback. It's just that he hasn't had a lot of real talent on his offense until 2016, and that his defense wasn't too good until last season. Now he has some weapons. Keenan Allen finally had another breakout year off an injury, and don't forget about Melvin Gordon getting good in the passing game. Last year, Allen was a beast, and Melvin Gordon was pretty good for a running back in the air game. And Rivers himself threw for 4,515 yards, 28 touchdowns, to only 10 picks, which landed him in the top 5 for MVP voting. But they still only went 9-7. They were 9th in total points scored, and their defense was ranked 3rd in points allowed all season. Last year, their defense took a major jump, and they gained 4 wins when Rivers performed at an MVP level. This year, their defense is still good, but not in top 5. The addition of Derwin James has clearly made an impact. This year, to their misfortune, they are in the Chiefs division. Imagine being 10-3, having the 2nd best record in the AFC, but being the number 5 seed and a wildcard team. If I was a Chargers fan, I wouldn't want our success to be diminished by the Kansas City Chiefs, who are only 1 game ahead, and who are in the spotlight. They will most likely be playing for the AFC West on Thursday night, due to the Chiefs and Chargers both having relatively easy schedules. Thanks for watching. I have been doing YouTube for about a year and just do stuff about the NFL. I am so close to 100 subs. It would really mean a lot to me if you could subscribe, and it would motivate me to make more videos. So all in all, do you agree with my list? I hope you did.